Hi, this is Outdoor Gear Chat. We're at Kendal Mountain Festival still. It's the end of, coming up to the end of Saturday. We're not quite there yet, but anyway, this is episode 79.
It is, Wayne, and we've just been having a fantastic day here at Kendal Mountain Festival. We're at the brewery today. Two fascinating guests. They're actually talking on the Deuter stage and also talking around and about the show. Sorry, I put brackets. Help, forgot to note down the thing.
I'll just keep it going for a minute, buddy. I'm not letting you off with that one. There's no chance. It's after you've stitched me up on previous podcasts, there's no way I'm letting you off with it. So yeah. So what did the script say? What should it say?
Oh, that's just been the script. So we're going to talk to Hannah Mitchell and Sam Jagger, who did their own trip unself-supported to Tajikistan. And we're going to learn Tajikistan. Got there, put my teeth in. So, ladies, I mean, the trip sounded incredible when we just talked about it briefly. Can you tell us how Deuter were involved?
Yeah, so in the sort of planning process for the trip, we started kind of putting together a list of things we need, as you do. And one of the things that became really apparent is that we were both kind of making do with backpacks that were appropriate for certain activities, but probably not for what we were planning on undertaking. So we started thinking about, what would our dream pack look like?
How would we execute the kind of walking? Because I was kind of adamant. I'm a bit of a planner. It's like I was a bit adamant that we didn't want like to carry 2 bags in because we knew we'd be carrying enough food and everything else. We wanted 1 bag to do it all. And then when we were like discussing bag idea, we were just like, oh, Deuter, like because of the female women's fit.
Yeah, so because of the slimline, the women's specific fit that they make, that was something that obviously jumped out to us. And it was just really important that we had a pack that was appropriate both for several days of trekking and carrying all our gear, because we were carrying all our own food and water and tents, but that would also double up for a summit push. So we needed something that was technical and could accommodate ice axes, and sort of packed down small enough that it wouldn't be kind of getting in the way when we were doing kind of like adventurous terrain.
Can I just ask why there? I think I know the answer because Cathy and I just had a chat about it. But why did you pick Tajikistan?
So Tajikistan came from my idea. I work with a community-based tourism group called Journal of Nomads, and I do a lot of writing for her, and I help lead tours out there. So she kind of supports tourism in Central Asia. So I went to Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. And then I went to Tajikistan last year to lead a tour, and we dipped our toes into the Fann Mountains, but it was something that I loved it there because it was a bit more, well, it's still arid there, but there was a bit more availability for water and things, and there was a lot more peaks. I was like, oh, maybe I can come back here another time. So it was on the cards. And then me and Hannah met, and we got talking, and then I was like, oh, we can really challenge ourselves. And we were both going through a bit of a rubbish time, and I just remember really randomly turning around to Hannah and being like, want to come to Tajikistan? She just replied without thinking.
And without actually really having any geographical knowledge of where Tajikistan was at that point either. It was just like, yeah, I'm just like a chronic yes woman, basically.
I love that though, isn't it? Yeah, no thought whatsoever. Yeah, go on. Where's that then? Nothing. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I kind of jumped on board at that point. Then thought I probably ought to actually look into where Tajikistan is and what it is. So started kind of like looking around on the internet at the sort of terrain and the landscape, and then being a mountain enthusiast, obviously was quite taken in by the fact that there's some nice big peaks there. So so then I kind of came up with a slightly wild idea that we would maybe try and do a 5,000 metre peak while we were there as well.
It worked. I mean, we'll talk about our dynamic in a bit, but like I think all of that worked really well because I'd actually, so coincidentally, Hannah like selected these 2 possible peaks, and then actually our base camp was where I hiked to, so I could lead us there. It was perfect for both of us. Like it just something just clicked, and it was
the plan just really lined up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's superb. And I know, well, obviously, you know the area a bit, because you've been there, but it is a little known area. There's no mountain rescue. Did you have like a backup plan?
Do you mean an emergency plan or like a backup plan if we didn't do our peak?
Well, yeah, in case you didn't do peaks, because there's a huge amount of unknowns, isn't there?
Yeah.
There can be sort of rivers up and all sorts of stuff. So did you get to the peak that you planned to do, I suppose?
Yeah, so I think what Hannah really taught me on this trip was just take it, because I'm such a planner, and like Hannah's the opposite, so it worked really well. But like I learned on this trip, I just needed to take things day by day and just see what happened. And the conditions were unseasonably hot that year, which we tried everything to get an idea of those conditions out there, but it was literally the day before we went to the summit push, which was our plan B. So we ended up going for a peak called Energia, which is at 5,120 metres. But we found out like the day before we were due to do it, that it turned into like a 50-degree ice slope. It was just too dangerous for us. So we just kind of, I think it about us too. We were just let's just go and enjoy the mountain, just see how far we get and turn back and take the danger out of it, really. So we didn't summit, but I think we did everything set out to do.
And the trip for us had never been, from like its inception, had never been about conquering, summiting. Like we both like hate that narrative. Like we didn't have any kind of egotistical ideas about it. We just really wanted to challenge ourselves. We found like the right sort of level of challenge. It was just enough out of our comfort zone, I think. But also, it was about like being quite dynamic with it as well, because we were very aware that for a multitude of reasons we might not be able to reach the height that we wanted to reach. So having plans in place if we weren't able to do that, and just kind of like setting our expectations. So.
Yeah, and going back to the packs as well. So you kind of touched on the fact that the Deuter packs, they have the SL range. Well, they have their range, and they're made in either wide or SL slimline. And the SL tends to fit kind of narrow shoulders and ladies' physique. Did they perform as you wanted them to? Were they comfy?
Yeah, so I'd say, actually, just going back to what you said about like women narrower shoulders, I'd say because both of us are climbers. So, I was just going to speak for myself, but I'd say I've got pretty wide shoulders. But actually, they've got really, really good adjustability. So whilst they are designed with like the female form in mind, there's also some like really good adjustability to it as well, which can accommodate. Obviously, they're designed by Tajikistan, so they're designed with climbers' physiques in mind as well. So,
comfort-wise, sorry.
No, go jump in.
Comfort-wise, I knew we both had bits that we wish we could have trained a bit more for, but mine was definitely on my shoulders. But overall, the comfort of them, that's one thing I was like, wow, like I was really taken aback because it was so stripped down for what it is, but yet we were able to carry just under 20 kilograms on our backs. And I do remember that being like really impressive.
It's a great plug. We spoke about Tamara, or spoke to Tamara last year at the festival about everything to do with it. She's just absolutely amazing to it.
And just echoing what Sam said there, I think like we were just really surprised that they could be as comfy as they were. Obviously they're not the comfort level of a pack that is designed for through hiking alone, that doesn't have any ice axe attachments, that kind of thing. So they don't have that level of padding and that kind of thing. But for a pack that's so stripped down and so lightweight, they are impressively comfy. And
it's a really practical thing, but we were able to keep our water bottles in that pocket was a lifesaver. Because usually mountaineering packs, there's like a pocket to this, I don't know how to describe it, to the side where you're able to store your water. And like most mountaineering packs, everything is all in the bag, and that was so useful for us anyway because it was so hot. We were constantly like, get more water, please.
It's so easy to not hydrate, isn't it? Because it's a faff. You have to be really pretty disciplined, or it's got to be like to hand, doesn't it?
We've spoken about that before. I'm terrible. If it's not here in my face, I'm not going to drink. So I have front pouches on my packs normally for that reason. It's got to be here.
And if you're at altitude, you just can't afford what to drink.
Exactly. And also we put all that effort into filtering the water. My favourite job of the day is always when you reach your camp for the day and you've got to then trek God knows how much further to find your water source, fill up all your water bottles, trek back to your tent, and then squeeze them through a filter when you're absolutely exhausted. It's just like my favourite part of the day. Hannah's filtering water again.
Oh, it can be a bit zen sometimes if you just what sort of filter did you have? A pump filter or did you have a filter?
Soya.
Just
Soya filter. Right, okay, yeah. Well, it sounds like an absolutely brilliant trip. I mean, every time I speak to you ladies about it, you've just got huge smiles on your faces. Still, and it just, you're just infusing fun.
Although there's a few shared looks that we need to explore. We're not recording by the looks of it. Yeah, but anyway, we're not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I guess that final question would be, would you do it again?
From my point of view, absolutely. It was for both of us. It was the first trip of this kind, with the sort of logistical prep and that kind of thing that we'd done before. And I think next time that process will be. I mean, it will still be like having a part-time job, but it will be much simplified because we've kind of refined the process. I would love to do some more bigger expedition-style trips. Absolutely, I would love to go back to Central Asia. I wouldn't necessarily go back to the same part, not for any bad reason, just because I would like keep seeing the world.
Think our dynamic, like what I learned was I'm all about like joy and laughing and stuff, but it really, really matters in like spaces like that. I think me and Hannah worked together, like considering that was just like we didn't really know you that well, and it went so well, and I definitely love to do something. So we were talking about going and stuff, but
I love how I went into like, would I do that trip? Which sort of generally, you know, would you do it again with me? And I just. But yes, I would absolutely go on an expedition with you. we made it like we made it. We made a really, really incredible team. I think like we're just very good at communicating, and obviously the human side of things. Like
Well, it sounds like you evened each other out. If that's the right term,
absolutely.
Sort of, or balanced each other out.
It's really cool because like I think our personality. We were saying this while we're quite similar. We're actually like really different in terms of like planning and things like that. So we learn a lot from each other, but then I think also from like our skills, like that's really complemented each other well as well. So
Thank you, Hannah and Sam, so much for your time, and I know you've got a very busy pending schedule, and it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and thank you also to Deuter for making this possible. If you would like to find out more about the Deuter range of packs we have them on sale in our shops at climbers.shop.com, as well as a whole host of free knowledge available in our buyer's guides, and also direct from the Deuter website about sizing, female specific packs, any sort of pack that you can think of. We have them in stock, and all the information is there available free to access at the Joe Brown Outdoor Academy.